Hey everyone, I'm here with Duncan, and we're doing our first unofficial SCA practice, and we're doing Pells. We are staying that far apart and still have our mask on. I am vaccinated, he's vaccinated, but we're just doing it to stay safe and to make sure that people don't die, right?
Exactly.
So we just started, I just set everything up, and we're going to start with stretches. Duncan's going to show me what he does to get ready, so go ahead. So what we're doing is putting it behind us, and we're pulling on one side, putting a lot of tension on our shoulders and our biceps, triceps.
Yep. Swap over to the other side, doing the same thing.
Whew. Now I'm going to show Duncan what I do. Grab your other stick. Grab the other one. Alright, so now I do the rotator stuff. So take these and put them horizontal. I mean out in front of you. Like that. And you just do circles, 10 of them. And the other way. Straight up, do circles again. And 10 of them, now the other way. You're feeling it? I'm feeling it. Okay, last one is out like that, and then do 10. I also do windmills, but that's a lot of stuff, so I'm ready. You ready?
I'm good.
Okay. Duncan, what are we working on today?
Today I've been working on setting up a little fake, which is started out by simply striking at their leg, back off, strike the leg, add something into it if you want, get them thinking about something else. And then as you go for that third one, you step in, pause there, rotate it up.
Oh, so it's not a rising snap.
No.
Okay, so we're actually doing a pause and then like a teardrop and then fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all together it should look a little bit like
so pause, drop, fire.
Yep.
Am I doing that right?
Slow-mo, pause, drop, fire.
Okay, pause, drop, fire. Okay. What are we calling this? The Gamil Special?
The Gamil Special,
Pause,
yes.
Pause, drop, fire. Where are you getting your power from? Your hip?
Yep.
Okay.
That's all it is simply from there. So I'm not actually committing the hip here. I'm just taking the step in to sell that I'm going down. And as I rotate it back, that's when I'm...
Okay, so what we got is we take this step and it cocks it. And when we pull this back, it pulls our hip back.
Yep.
And then we fire. Okay. It's wet.
Yes, it is.
And these pants don't fit no more, which is good.
Good.
Means the belly's getting little. Still big though. Okay. Where do I want to stop the pause? I mean, where do I want to pause? Do I want to pause close to him, or does it matter? Or?
So the real part the real pause part is you're just simply pausing just before it fires.
Just
the rest of
not
it,
not cocking.
Yeah, so you're not pausing it here.
Okay, so I'm pausing here.
Pausing there.
Yeah.
in the cell that you're going to throw it, you're actually just rotating your hand forward.
Oh, okay. So I'm going like that and
Molinet.
then that. Oh, Molinet. Okay. All right.
You're
All
doing
right.
a forward Molinet. Like that.
All right. So it's not really a pause then. Can you throw it in full go?
Yeah.
Okay. It is not a pause. All right. It's a Molinet. Gotcha. We're on it. I think we got it. Maybe not.
So I've only gotten it to work once.
Right. So for anybody who's new, a Molinet is basically you are taking your hand, dropping the tip of the sword, rotating like you do on a wrap, like this, and then back in. You can do a Molinet. When you watch the videos of me doing this to this, I can, if I add a Molinet, it looks like that. So it's not a pause and then hit. It's a, that's a Molinet, that's a Molinet, that's a Molinet. You're just making a little loop coming in. So if you ever hear the word Molinet, it's French for something.
It's a French technique involving just the rotation of the tip of the sword. It's a fencing term.
Smart guy over here.
So that was one I've been working on. The other one, a little bit more basic, but just as tricky, is I've been trying to figure out how to more perfectly go from that leg head to the head. But the tricky part for me is that I can't get enough, a lot of power into the leg and then into the head quick enough.
Quick enough. Okay.
Because it's supposed to be at half a beat.
So now what we're doing is we're troubleshooting. Duncan has said that he's having trouble hitting leg and then back into head with power and speed, right?
Yes.
I don't think accuracy is going to be the problem. So, well, the first thing I don't know, let's try it and figure it out, right? That reverb,
that first one causes the problem because it wants to bounce off.
Yeah. Well, I think if you
you
throw
can't
it,
really control that bounce back into it.
well,
you're finding the momentum.
if you're throwing it just straight into the leg, you can make it pause. See that? Mm-hmm. If you're throwing it at an angle, that's where the bounce is coming from. It's coming at an angle. Yeah.
Okay.
So if we straight in, the reverb shouldn't be that bad. But you can also use that, right? So that's the reverb that brings it back to here before I'm fighting it to stop it. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's a fight. So what if we don't fight it? Okay. And then we just use your hip. So bounce in, bounce in. Slow it down. Bounce in. Now, one thing you can do too is I have my hand open inside of this, and so I'm holding it like that, right? And right before impact, I squeeze my hand, and then on the reverb, I let it go, then squeeze it again.
Okay.
So, these pants.
Well, the other trick behind this is you don't want to let it reverb too far because you're trying to hide it as they block this in their shield blind spot as you come back up.
Gotcha. So you want to ride up.
Yeah, you almost want to ride it as close as you can to their shield up with power.
Okay, so
we saw this in a video of Jade, and also Duke Gunther does this a lot. Duke just throws to that leg, and then from there it's like that much movement.
He's probably just doing a teardrop. He's probably just doing the...
It very much looks like that, yes.
So he's probably just hitting and letting it fall.
We also acknowledge that Gunther's a little bit of a mountain compared to us.
He's a little different than the rest of us.
He's a big guy. So the question how does a skinny guy like me with no arm power
Right.
get that speed and power into it?
I honestly think that if you reverse the role of what you're trying to do, you might get more. Because you're going leg, which would work really good with that arsenal that you've been working on, right? The 3 to the leg and then the Molinet into the head, right?
Yeah.
Because if this doesn't work, then you can do the Molinet into the head, right? I can see what you're trying to do, but what if you reversed it? So now we're going head leg.
So from
Right, so this would pull his, that would pull his repertoire up, right?
mm-hmm.
And then from, I would sell it more like this too, like I would throw and then move to the side to make it look like I'm going to this side, and then maybe a rack to the leg, so it would look like.
Okay.
And you gotta show that arm, like when you throw this blind, you know what I mean? So blind, and then he sees the sword. You see what I'm saying? So from here, it might look like it's going.
He sees it go vertically.
Yeah, as soon as he sees it, yeah.
there.
So when he sees this, yeah. But when you hide it behind that shield, I don't know. Maybe that's the way to. Because things that, like, okay, so things, you said it. How do you get you to do the things that the big guy does, right? Uther.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't. Maybe that's Uther stuff. Yeah, but maybe you do. You'll never know until you practice it out, right?
Yeah.
But you got to figure out what works for Duncan. Not what Uther does, or Sir Gamil does, or Duke Branos does, and then you bring it in. It's, does that work for Duncan? So I'll give you a good example. I've been practicing with the left hand. I cannot generate power for the offside shot. I can't do it. I've tried. I throw all my hip into it. It hurts my wrist, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing it instead of just doing a from the shoulder offside. And that's like, I have to get really close to get that because of my little arm, right? So what I'm doing is I'm cocking my arm. So I will never throw an offside unless I block first. Once the stick hits here, then I fire it up. That's how I'm going to have to throw the offside on my left hand. I can't throw it any other way. So I looked at how everybody else is doing that, and I take what Matthias can do. So maybe, I mean, just keep practicing that, you know, like, I like it. One of my favorite ones right now is that. It's easy, but it works.
Works great.
I love it, but maybe that doesn't work for the next fighter, you know? And me trying to push it into somebody, it's not fair to them, right?
Yeah.
But I'll show you one that I got from Duke Branos, though. I love this one. It's easy. So easy, I put it in a basic shot rep, okay? So you're standing like this, you know, you're doing the A-frame, whatever you got to do, and you bend down with the knee, fire out, and then you throw the tip. And as you do it, I stand up and kind of like push away. You might be able to generate power differently, but look, so my hips are like this, so when I fire, it's almost like a flat snap, okay? Except for I'm hitting with the tip. And then I just... But watch here, if you do it a lot, like sitting here,
a little further, that's my problem.
and it's called the jab, that's what I call it, just like boxing, right? I'm throwing a jab, throwing a jab, throwing a jab. And you want to hit him on top of the head. And that pull of the hand up like this is to get the end of the sword over the shield. See what I'm saying? So if you do it right, you'll get power. But it'll set you up for all kinds of stuff, you know what I mean? Because if you sit there, if me and you're fighting, I go bat, 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 and it just keeps your shield right there, right? So bat, 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 that little crack, whack! Yeah. So you get them used to, like a boxer. When a boxer's jab, jab, jab. That's to find distance, right? Find find your sweet spot, find his sweet spot, right? And it's also to test their defense. What does he do when I throw that? Right? And if you have a thrusting tip on there, I don't, but if you did, that turns into that. You know? Oh, he doesn't think that's a threat, right?
Yeah.
Boop! Right in the eye. I don't know where the last one went off. I don't have a little light that tells me when it dies. But yeah, so we're working with the Branos jab. I don't know if you guys saw that, so we're gonna do it again. So out and up. You gotta pull your hand up. Make sure you throw your hips in like you're doing a wrap. All right, do a jab and then to a flex. So jab.
Rolling that flat snap jab?
I'm just turning my wrist.
Or you just turn, so you're going from here and just simply doing that?
No, I'm going jab, right? Bringing it back like I'm going to do another jab, but I just turn my wrist. Push my hand out. So first one's this way. Second one is a push out to the side.
So more of a high than a flat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a flat snap now. Because that would be up like this. I'm hitting at an angle. Yeah.
Okay. So
well, I need to practice it with the. Yeah, because you're trying to hide it in the jab. So, and that would be the same thing with like, I don't know how good a hide from offside would be. So, yeah, I guess you could. Or a hide to the leg. So, whoop. That would take
the other. I was just thinking the other cool bit you could do to even get it to the flat snap. Requires a little bit like of that discipline, but you could even like you can manage to keep your hand on that same axis and never move it while you rotate it.
Yeah, that's hitting them close to the basket hill.
Yeah, it's a bit of definitely a short stick.
I don't know if I want to punish anybody. That's a. Let me get my.
But I was also thinking of that for the offside. You just keep that axis there.
Yeah, I just think
pull it back on the Z rather than the.
I really like this. His Grace has a video out there that explains it in a lot more depth than I did. Duke Branos, you guys can look him up. Jab, Duke Branos jab. I think that's it. Yeah, but he explains it a lot better than I do. That's for sure. Yeah, because you're trying to like, literally hit him on top of the dome. So not like hitting him in the face, like right on top of his head. Yeah. So wherever that is on your Pell, that's what you need to do.
Way the hell up there.
Well, aim right. Don't aim for the wood. Aim for right there.
Yeah.
And then if that's the case, my dude's kind of small. So if that's the case, you can then bring a flat snap in to the face, right? Instead of trying to hit it there where it's at, right?
Oh yeah.
So one of the things I loved to do when I was fighting was throw my hand way out like this and then lead with the thrust, right? So I would lead with the thrust. If it hit, cool. If not, the shield's coming up. And I would still push on the end of the shield so it would table into his face a little bit. And what that did was give me the ability to roll it back in and hit the leg. And when I did that, it would look kind of like this. I would stand like this and I go hit, step into the leg, and I'm backing away from him.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's one of my bread and butters. But I like adding this to it because now my threat range and because even if I throw this and he comes at me, my sword and my shield are still in front of me, you know? So, so like, look, so like, I throw this and then you come at me with whatever, right? I still have the ability to block and move out of the way and stuff like that. But also what it does is, like, I throw that and you come at me, I'm coming in with my own defenses, my own attacks with that as well. So I really like, this is going to be definitely used a lot by me.
This is going to be great. I love that.
This is going to be, whoop! And nobody in Kingdom does this that I remember.
No, not that I can think of either.
Nobody in Kingdom that I can think of.
It's pressure.
Yeah, and just do this until you get sick of it. Because me, I personally like fighting right here. I love it. And if you do that enough, it's like poking a bear.
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Yep. You coming? You coming? You coming? Oh, there's your leg. So what I've been working on is I do 3 sets of 10 of the following. So I do 10 flat snaps, 10 legs, offside shot, wrap, the jab, slot, extended slot. And that gives me, I don't know how many shots that is. It's close. That's a lot. I do that. I've been doing that every day. But I'm catching a lot of my weaknesses too. So
that's what it takes.
And I would say when you throw these shots too, everybody, like I'm throwing from here, I am hardly ever in A-frame. I'm mostly like Duncan is in the Iron Chicken, like this. Maybe every now and then I block like this. Sometimes the weapon comes out way away from my body. But most of my shots are going to come from here. So I should start, because I've been doing them from here. I should do both. Should do both. Throw them from everywhere.
I tend to throw from whatever defenses I'm usually in. So
yeah, so
usually
usually
I start out like this a lot. When I'm actually in the fight, I start doing this.
Yeah.
So I'll throw some from here, then I'll throw some from here.
I guess it's the range too, right? So like if you're at long distance.
When that's C, I'm usually here.
Yeah, if you're at C range, remember C, B, A. Yeah, C range. My sword is out in front of me. Usually like this, I'm threatening with the thrust mostly. When we start to kick it into B range, my sword usually here, maybe a little bit of an A-frame, never here. My sword's never there. And I'm always, I try to stay sword forward.
I'm primarily sword foot forward.
Yeah, me too. But I'm not sideways, I'm more squared up. A lot of people don't like that, but
that's the reason I fight sideways is I know that I tend to grip the shield a little bit more in the fight. So when I'm like kind of block that leg here, shrugging it, I know that by presenting this as a skinny target,
right.
You try for that slot that I know is inevitably going to open up. I decrease the chances of being hit.
Well, and Duncan also uses a side mount heater when he fights, and mine is a heater center mount, so it changes the dynamics on how you have to block your stuff too. Because when I'm using mine, I can lay it flat, or I can kick it out. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about because it's kind of cool. So Duncan's heater, his hand is up here in the corner, and his forearm is here, so it's strapped. And he's trying to look over the corner of the shield a lot with his eyes. His nose is pretty much here all the time. With me, and I have the shorter arm, so mine is like this, and that's the reason it's like this. That's why the strap's here, because if it was just a center mount, it would table everywhere, because I don't have the strength to hold it. But anyway, so with mine, I could do what Duncan's doing. So I can stick it out and look over this edge. I can get it closer, look over both the corners. I do this a little bit every now and then to hide my sword, but that gets tiring on my arm. Mostly when I fight, I square it up. Maybe kick out the corner a little bit, and I fight like that. But as you can see, I'm still pretty defended. I'll put the sword up here too. So yeah. So that's everybody's gonna have their own different fighting styles, techniques, defenses. Shields play a good role in it. What weapon you're playing? Like I have a little bitty sword compared to the longer swords. Certainly y'all uses a redonkulous long sword. Overcompensating, if you ask me.
41 inches the last time we measured.
Yeah, 41 inches. Call it the overcompensator. But he hit you with it, so I guess it works. Alright, back at it. So, flats. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Do you feel that it's advantageous to change the depth of which your flat snap is trying to hit during those times?
The last 2 weeks, no, because I'm just trying to get back on the horse.
Okay.
I understand. That's why I'm using the axe a lot, because it tells me where the sweet spot is on the sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, about where the blade comes out of that little axe is about right here, right?
Yeah.
That's about where I want to hit with my weapon. But when I'm doing the flat snap, I already know that I want to hit with the tip. I don't like throwing flat snap up close. I don't know why. Like up close, I like to go for the body side. Like over here. And then, well, not the... Anyhow, I should, right? Because it does change the dynamics. So if I throw one here, I'm not going to hit with the same spot if I'm here, right? So it does change the body mechanics. I have to come across my body more to get it into where it needs to go. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. I should. Maybe I'll change it up like one set. Do it at. That's what we're going to do next week, guys. I'm going to change up the range. So my first 10 will be at C range, except for the wrap. I can't hit a wrap from C range. Oh yeah, I can. I can just throw it from out here.
It's just not a wrap. It's just a outward angle.
Yeah, it's a leg shot. Or yeah, I can throw that. Yeah, and then the second set will be from B range, and then my last set will be from A range.
A range.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that next week. We'll start doing that next week. Thank you. Let's do a little bit of walkthrough right now. See what it looks like. So that's from C range. Actually, let me get back a little bit more. I have to lean in. You see anything?
I get how you interpret it. What I more meant is like for instead of like firing it to hit there. What if I want to hit a little deeper in their head so it changes the depth?
Oh, so I'm changing
so
the
you're
whole
still
flow.
doing a flat snap. It's just the depth of which you're.
So instead of trying to hit with the tip from C range, I need to hit with a little bit in. So I have to. Oh, yeah.
kind of change that angle a little bit. Play with it.
That's my leg.
Because that might not be the angle that they present to you.
Right.
To hit it.
So one of the other things that we used to do when we could play together was we take tape and put it on the person's body, and they didn't have to take any shot except for where the tape was. So for like a relatively newer fighter, the tape was pretty simple. It would be like a flat snap to the cheek or the head. To a caliber fighter, you put the tape like on the shoulder blade and the armpit, and then you have to try to get your sword in there. And that was from Sir Matthias, the cooler Matthias. And it really worked out when I was doing it. I went to an unbelted, and every time a crack opened up on somebody, it was tape. In my head, I was like, ooh, and then I go right at it, you know. So it worked out. It's pretty cool. You'll see that in the future, guys. I promise. Me and Duncan will be doing more of these.
That was awesome.
Yeah, me and Gunnar used to do it, and then whoever Matthias had on there, and he would put the tape on Gunnar in the weirdest spots for me to hit. Man, I remember the first time we did it, he put the tape like right here on the side of my head, and I was like, oh, okay. So I literally just lived underneath my shield. And then he put it on Gunnar's back spot right here.
The back?
Yeah, so and that's on the other side.
Wait, back over there.
Yeah, on the other side. On the other side of somebody. So I spent all day, and I was hitting him with everything else, you know what I mean? But they don't count. Like, and then I eventually started trying to turn him with my shield, like catch his elbow and turn him and then try to hit him. But I never hit him. Never hit him in the spot. So he was wrecking my face. Let me tell you, bang good, bang good.
Okay, you could do that shot.
Well, what I was trying to do was catch his outside elbow with my shield and then turn him real hard. And then as I turn him, and it's Gunnar. He's like, it's like turning our refrigerator. You know, like you can't do it. Like it was one of the hardest days of practice ever. It's fun though. Duncan, top 3 shots. Let's go. What do you got? What do you got for me?
Top 3 shots? My top 3?
Yeah.
Onside. I play with that from hitting at that depth, hitting it straight in, or even just catching their eye.
He's a fan of the offside too. I am too.
I love the offside.
Let me tell you why we're the fan of the offside. Duke Guillaume. That's why we're the fan of the offside. That man.
Just like, oh, how you doing today? That's a very nice
man will hit you
shot.
with the offside, you don't even see it coming. You'll be like, oh, yeah. Okay, what's number 2?
My number 2 favorite shot is another offside, but it's the Molinet into the body.
Damn. Yep.
Yep, that nice little boom.
That works really good on like
Side mount fighters.
Side mount fighters, yeah. Or a low caliber, like a newer fighter, you know? Because you can definitely sell it by throwing your hand up too. Because they'll track the basket, and then when you get to here, they think it's coming there, and you drop it down and bring it in. Yeah. All right, number 3.
And my number 3 favorite shot is, of course, the J-hook body wrap.
J-hook body wrap. Ooh, it's a
J-hook wrap. Or more specifically, the double tap J-hook wrap. That little.
Yep, that's a Volric thing. He likes to do that one a lot. My favorite wrap is the double butt from Sir Hafty.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so you step way out here and then hit him, and you get both butt cheeks. Bam! That one's for my knight, Sir Hafty, who likes to strike people's butts.
Yep.
And he's good at getting away too. You know what I mean? Like he'll hit you.
He hits you and he's like, oh my.
Yeah, and he'll hit both butt cheeks and it hurts so bad you can't really like counter it. You're more like, oh, and he's gone. That's my favorite round. All right, it's good 3. It's good 3. So that one, that one, that one. Those are good. Yeah. My favorites right now is going to be the one with you on the offside. This is going to change, by the way, as we go. And I'm going with the jab. I love this. I love the jab. And then
You've been doing that at practice, they're going to be all like, what the hell are you doing?
yeah, that's what I want. That's what's great about, oh, let me go back to, and my number 3. My number 3 is always my bread and butter, the slap.
So when you're doing that, it's just simple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm pushing down on my hand to bring the tip up, boom. And especially if I'm using a mace, because the tip of that thing's going to be heavy enough, I don't have to put any kind of like hip action. But I also feel like
gravity take over.
Yeah, with this shot, I don't even throw my hip that much. I might kick it a little bit, but I've never been told no on a shot. You know what I mean? Like anytime that and I'm usually throwing it when somebody's coming on this side with a wrap or something. You know, so you block, hit them, block, hit them.
I need to start doing that. I was watching a couple of my videos.
Yeah, you crack.
Fighting, and I'll see that opening in the video, and I'll do that exact motion, that block. And all I need to do to finish them is that simple.
So what we can do in the future.
What I'm doing instead is the Molinet and taking 5 years to get there.
Okay, turn to the side. Turn to this side. Get over here. On that side. Okay, I will throw a wrap. You block and then fire it into there. Don't you hit me. Okay? So wrap, block, fire. When we're in armor again, or even just a helmet, that's what we'll do. We'll have this sit here. I'll sit beside of it. And we'll throw the wrap. You block the fire, and we'll just keep doing it. Speeding it up. See, I pulled it. You do that every Sunday for the next 2 months, that'll be driven into your head. And every time, that's what I had to do. And I did it from two sides. I did it from this side, and I was doing it from having Mercat throw offsides, which are his flat snaps to my head, right?
Yep.
So I did it against a left-handed fighter and a right-handed fighter. I don't know how, like it went from, for Mercat, it went from here to that.
Oh, so you block it from here and then turn it into a flat snap.
Yeah, but I bring it across my face. And not behind my head. Bring it across my face. And the reason I did that was because if shots were coming still, I could block with my sword.
Okay. Well, it's behind the head, but more of a...
It's right in my face. Basket does not... Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's not... There's nowhere where there's a helicopter over my head. It's turning right in front of me. But if the helicopter over your head works for you, use it. You know, just this is the way I'm doing it. So it's block fire, block. And for a lefty, it works out pretty good because he's kicking his shield out over. You know?
I'm looking at the tape right here. So this is your blade, right?
Yeah.
Just so you're aware, you are throwing that a little bit near flat. Now it's good. There you are.
Thank you.
Woo! Wasn't quite there, but it was like...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still hitting play, but not quite.
I'm not killing him.
Yeah.
Just giving him a headache. All right.
Good. Those are...
We good?
I'm good.
All right, well, I'm gonna turn off the camera. We're gonna do a couple passes on these things. I'm gonna catch a sweat and then call it a day. Thanks for watching, everybody. Keep fighting, stay frosty. Well, me and Duncan will see you next Sunday. You'll see me tomorrow, but you'll see Duncan next Sunday. All right, later.